we will look at trigonometry. Eight, we'll look at construction. Nine, we'll look at business maths. 10, we'll look at vectors and bearing. Vectors and bearing. So these are the first 10 topics that we are going to look at. This is not all the topics. The first 10. Then when we are done with the first 10, if time permits us, we'll look at other topics in addition to this one. So for now, we are going to start with the first one. We are going to look at circle theorem today. We'll look at circle theorem. So let's look at circle theorem. Now, under circle theorem, I expect you to know all of this by the end of the class. So these are my expectations. By the end of the class, you'll be able to define a circle. 2, you'll be able to define parts of a circle. Then 3, you'll be able to explain terms associated. So we are going to look at these 3 for today's lessons. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to define a circle, define the parts of a circle, and then also explain some terms that are associated with circles. So let's start by looking at the definition for a circle. So what is a circle? So you might have heard over and over, circle, circle, circle. If someone asks you, what is a circle? So let's look at the definition for a circle. A circle is a locus. Is a locus of points equidistant from a fixed point. A circle is a locus of points equidistant from a fixed point. And the fixed point is called the center of the circle. So let me write the definition on the board for you. A circle is a locus So from our definition, you realize that we say a circle is a locus. It is a locus of points which is equidistant from a fixed point. Equidistant. So you need to understand these two technical terms, a locus and then equidistant. When we say something is a locus is a set of points or lines. It's a set of points or lines that defines or that determines specific. A locus is a set of points or lines that determines or that explains a specific location or a specific point. Now, from what we are also saying here, we are also saying that it is locus of point which is equidistant. The word equi was taken from the word equal or same. So equidistant here means that the distance is the same apart, or it is equal apart. So all that we are trying to say in this definition is that to be able to define a circle, you need a fixed point and a given radius. So all that we've said in this definition is that for you to be able to draw a circle, you just need a fixed point and a given radius. A fixed point and a given radius. So if you have your fixed point, you fix it, or you fix your compass at a given point, then with a radius, assuming the radius is 5 centimeters, you move in either clockwise or anti-clockwise way till you get to the starting point. And then you have your circle. So it means that to make the definition very simple for you, put it at the back of your head that what defines a circle is the center and the radius. So if you have the center and you have the radius, you can always have a circle. So I'll go further to explain. The common distance from the center. Remember, I've already explained that the center is the fixed point where you stand. The fixed point where you are going to put the tip of your compass, that is the center. So a circle is defined by the center and the radius. So the common distance from the center, to the circumference of the circle is called the radius. So that is what we mean by the radius. And I will explain circumference under the parts of a circle, the various parts of a circle. So to go over this once again for the last time, I said a circle is a locus of points equidistant from a fixed point. And that fixed point is called a center. The common distance from the center to the circumference of the circle, which I will explain another part for you to know what the circumference of the circle is. So from the center to the circumference of the circle is what we call the radius. And I finalized everything by saying a circle is defined by its center and its radius. So let me add that to this. That thus a circle is defined by its center and radius. A circle is defined by its center and radius. So we've been able to look at the definition for a circle. Now let's look at the parts of a circle. For you to be able to answer questions under circle theorem, you need to know the parts of the circle. The parts of the circle will help you to understand the theory more, for you to be able to answer the questions. So we are going to explain the various parts of a circle to you. So consider the diagram below. So this figure is what we term as a circle. The point you see over here, this is what we term as the center, the fixed point. That is the center of the circle. And this here is the circle itself. The portion, this side, this whole thing over here, that is the circle. This is the circle. Now let's look at the various parts of a circle. So parts of a circle. So to make it easy for you, I will just shade this to mean that this is the circle, this one. This whole region, this is the circle. This is what we mean by circle. This is the circle, the shaded region. And this here is the point, or the center of the circle. Now let's look at parts of a circle. Parts of a circle. The first one we look at is the circumference. The circumference of a circle. Now, in order to save time, I would be dictating the rest of the definitions for you to write. So we are looking at the circumference first. Now, the thick black line that you are seeing here is what we term as the circumference of the circle. So the circumference of any circle is the perimeter of the circle. The circumference of any circle is the perimeter of the circle. Now, the perimeter of any shape is the distance all around the shape. The distance all around the shape is what will give you the perimeter of a shape or of a figure. So what we mean by the perimeter of a circle is its circumference, then what we are trying to say is that when you move along the boundaries over here, the edge, this circle that you are seeing, this one, this is what we mean by the circumference. So the circumference of any circle is the perimeter of the circle, or the boundaries, the edges, the edge that you are seeing here is the perimeter, the circumference of the circle. The circumference of the circle. So the circumference of a circle is the perimeter of the circle. Definition 2. Now let's look at a chord. 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 A chord is a straight line joining 2 points on the circumference of a circle. A chord is a straight line joining 2 points on the circumference of a circle. So the first thing we looked at is circumference. So now we know what the circumference of a circle is. We explained that the circumference of the circle is the edge here, or the boundaries. The second definition is saying a chord is a straight line which joins 2 points on the circumference. So we have the circumference of the circle here. If I have 2 points on the circle, let's assume I have a point A and another point B on the circle. The line which joins point A to point B is what we call a chord. So the line that will join the point A and then the point B, that line is called a chord. So the line that will join these 2 points so the line AB is called a chord because by the definition a chord joins 2 points on the circumference. So this line here is joining the point A and the point B. So this line is called a chord. Chord. It's called a chord. Again, now let's assume we have a point here. Now let me call this point P and another point here. Let me call this point Q. P and Q are 2 points on the circumference of the circle. So the line that will join points P and point Q, that line is called a chord. So the line joining these 2 points is a chord. So a chord joins 2 points on the circumference of a circle. Now, let me clean one of the chords so that I want to use just one of them. Let me clean this. Okay. Now you realize that with the introduction of this line, it has divided the circle into 2 portions. So look at this line. It has divided the circle into 2 portions. We have this bigger portion and this smaller portion. Now, we call this segment. So this is a segment and this is also a segment. So anytime you introduce a chord into a circle, it will always divide the circle into segments. So a chord will always divide a circle into segments. So anytime there is a chord, always have it at the back of your mind that there is what we call segments. So you see this bigger portion, because this is big, we call this major segment. And because this is smaller, we call this one minor segment. So this is minor segment, and this is called major segment. Minor segment, major segment. Let me draw another circle here, just to buttress what I'm saying earlier on. So to go from the beginning, this is the center of the circle. This is the circumference of the circle. The thick black edge that you see here, that is the circumference of the circle. A chord joins 2 points. So if I have this point C and another point here D, the line joining these 2 points C and D, this line is called a chord. This line is called a chord. And I said the chord will always divide a circle into segments. So this here is called a segment. This is also called a segment. This is the minor because it's smaller. So minor segment. And because this is bigger, we call this major segment.